Hello, hola, and buenas, buenas. Welcome back to La Cuna Galaxiana, a podcast always made with love. Tonight, we'll bring you our match reaction for the LA Galaxy's spectacularly disastrous 4-1 away defeat to the Colorado Rapids on Saturday, March 7th on match day 3. That's right. This is the first edition of Sad Foo Hours this year. We'll cover how the Galaxy was wasteful yet again, break down how this was two different games, the red that changed the game, and how the Galaxy is its own worst enemy. We'll also bring you a CONCACAF Champions Cup preview for the round of 16 match against Jamaica's Mount Pleasant, a game which already carries a fair amount of drama to it. Plus, we'll bring you an MLS Match Day 3 roundup, and two former players get a lifetime ban. All of that and more coming up on La Cuna Galaxiana. Hey, DJ, hit that track. G's up.
Yeah, let's get it started with a new year, new me. Cuna Galaxiana still reporting on the news feed, yeah. And you know who it be, the 6-star from the Jersey, putting work in the league. Word on the street, we rip teams immaculately. We see the players come and go, but I'm forever a G. And you can catch me yelling tactics on the field when I leave. Get it together like I'm Banny when I'm giving a speech. Back to the pitch, score goals, dribbling tricks. I heard a transfer window rumor, let me see who it is. I got statistics on the player, puzzle pieces that fit. Con este show que es tan bilingüe que tu papi lo ve. Rápido pues, hablando de este club otra vez. En las buenas y en las malas, we got love for the crest, love for LA. Let's get it started, light up the stage. Every week on Monday night I'm tuning into the place. Yeah, you know what it is. Es La Cuna Galaxiana, 4th season, Rob Ananda. And my name, ya te lo sabes.
Welcome back to La Cuna Galaxiana. Thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate it. We have a good show for you guys tonight. I'm one of your co-hosts, Rob Halon. You can always find my written work at the Sporting Tribune, and you can always find me online at El Escudero de LA. Y también, as always, the other part of this equation, the other co-host here, the jelly to my peanut butter, el papá de Natita y el yerno guapo, Anandita Kirana. Papá, ¿cómo te sientes? ¿Cómo te sentís ahorita?
Oh, man. Could be better. Could be better, right? I feel like we did the watch along and the instant reaction on Saturday, so I feel like I got all of my feels out, all of my instant feels out that day. But man, it's a tough one to take, right, for Galaxy fans. And I've seen the meltdown over the past 48 hours. And so this is Sad Foo Hours. So this is AKA group therapy, right? This is why we're here.
Galaxy Twitter is so fun, dude.
to talk about it. But you know how we do on this show, Papa. One word reaction. So let's just get it out of the way, because we're gonna talk a lot about our full reaction to this game. We've had another couple of sleeps to brew over it, but Papa, my one word reaction, and by the way, a nice pun for you in the intro, and so please, guys and chat and everyone listening, do not excuse my pun, because this is purely intentional. My one word reaction is peccable. And you're probably thinking, well, Anandita, what is peccable? Well, Rob, I'm not the journalist and I don't have a degree in English, but per the dictionary, if you guys know what impeccable means basically flawless and without mistake. Peccable is the antonym of that, which is the complete opposite, which is, yes, there are flaws and there are mistakes, and we will talk about that, but I will leave it at that. And please, like I said, do not excuse the pun. Purely intentional.
Yeah, I mean, you can take it a step further and you can say pecado, which is sin in Spanish, right?
Oh, that's deep. That's deep.
Yeah.
Think about like the Pec, like he's the religious man. That's deep, Papa. That's deep.
Yeah, I mean, like if I was laying out the headline for the paper, I probably, and it was in Spanish, I probably would have had that picture of him holding his hands and probably put pecado, and then like, dude, that's the money shot right there. But yeah, man, I don't even know, man. Like what the one word reaction would be. I've gone through a range of emotions since the other day. Like if you had asked me,
life of covering the galaxy, right?
yeah, if you had asked me the other day, like when I was hot, you know, it would have been different than it is right now.
Sure.
But you know, with having a couple of days to reflect on everything, I guess I just gotta say meltdown, you know, because despite the fact that Peck got sent off, and yes, that was the turn of the match, this defense should have been able to hold on, or at least kept it respectable 2-1, you know. We're even a 3-1, but a 4-1, bro, like that's like Jakob said in the post-match presser, it's not a good feeling. And he basically just, when I asked him my question, he was basically like, blood, like I can't even talk about that right now. Like he was deep.
Yeah,
in
he
his
just
feels.
he just wanted to move on. Like I could sense it in his voice. He was like, just get me out of this presser and put me on the plane, and I need to go home and sleep on this. So
yeah, I mean that's what a 4-1 will do to you. And
yeah,
what's crazy is it was there. It was.
Oh, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Yep.
You know. Oh, I have a one-word reaction. I have a one-word. John Candy. John Candy, because yeah, you remember the actor John Candy?
Yeah, but I'm trying to do the connection. I think that's like too far removed for me.
All right, so John Candy in the bloody fantastic film Cool Runnings, Peace Be the Journey. The first time, you know, the Jamaican bobsled team goes out and like for their first big match, like they flub their lines, right? Like they mess up, right? And so John Candy comes to him afterwards, and then he just like gets into him, and he's like, "It was there for you. It was there for you for the taking, and you choked." And you know, he goes on for like a 30-second speech and just like really lays into him. But
I like it.
That's really what I'm thinking. You know, it was like it was there for them. They were with all the momentum, and they choked. I mean, first it was Gabriel Pec, and you know, we know through Jakob that he was very contrite afterwards. But then it was the team themselves. I mean, they just kind of, I just feel like lightweight gave up. You know, it's like they just weren't like stepping up, just weren't pressing like the way they were in like the first 60 minutes. Anyway, we'll get to it, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, gone through a range of emotions. Bear with me. It is sad 4 hours.
We're all in our feels.
I know.
So, well, at least let's plug the show and get into the show. Why don't you, Papa? Because the chat needs to vent also, I'm sure.
Yeah, chat. If you know, let us know where you're listening to this humble little podcast from. We would love to shout out your city, shout out your hood. You know, I know that the galaxy is worldwide, but you know, we would love to know where you guys are listening to us from. On occasion, sometimes there's been people, you know, in Europe and Japan that are listening to the show, and it's crazy like when that happens, because we're like, dang.
Yeah, our friend Thomas from Belgium. So yeah.
Ooh, Belgium in the house. Yeah, man. So yeah, we just really appreciate it. To every single one of you guys that have subscribed to the show. We do love you for it. We are 1/4 of the way to 900. I think I saw it was like 925 or something like that. And you always tell me that 1/3 of the people that listen to this show, Whittier, what up? Do not subscribe. And you know that, look, everybody knows that this is, you know, yeah, we jump on and we shoot the shit and stuff like that, but like, you know, we put some work into it, and you know, like we promise you we'll keep putting that work in. If this is your first time that you're watching the show, like, hey, that's a freebie. But the next time you come back, just by product that you know, like me and Ananda are putting in that work for you, go ahead and hook your brother up, hook Ananda up, hit that subscribe. We'll love you forever. He'll take a shot with you. He promises.
And guys, it doesn't cost you anything. It's just 2 seconds, literally 2 seconds. One click.
2 segundos.
And you're in.
2 segundos.
I might be 2 clicks with the notification bell, but anyways, you get my drift.
Yeah. No, but you know, if you have the time, hit the notification bell too. You know, like if you're already doing like
Well,
you know the
I mean,
one
if you
click thing.
do, you'll know when we get on instant reactions with like the boys from Talking Galaxy. You'll know when national beat writers like Charles Boehm and our friend Justin Ruderman and Rob's colleague Anthony Bautista are on. You'll know
Yeah.
when the next time we get Tom Bogert the stash and maybe some Goss. So hey man,
MLS analysts like Michele Giannone and Keith Costigan. Keith
Dale.
drops bars, homie. Like that's his.
He's awesome. Yeah.
Wherever he is, I hope he is having a good time. I mean, he just drops bars. Him and Mo are comedy. But anyway, let's get into it, Mi Toxicos. And I say yes, Mi Toxicos, because despite everything, you are there for your team. And if that's not a Toxico, I don't know what is. Super chats are now available if you got something to get off your chest, because this is sad 4 hours. If you got a dedication, if you're like, you know what, you know, don't go breaking my heart, dedicated to the LA Galaxy. This is Little Puppet. Shout out. You know, you can do that. That's what super chats are for. Ananda swears to God we are on Blue Sky. I still cannot confirm that, but he tells me that we post regularly on this platform.
We're for sure on Blue Sky. For sure on Blue Sky. We've gotten a couple of good comments around the Minuto de la Mañana. Again, hopefully you guys are enjoying those. And
hey, that's hot, man. Yeah,
he's like, it's like people are
cool.
saying like, hey, even Goss was like, hey, this is so Blue Sky. Nice job, guys. So there you go.
Hey.
But before we get into the announcements and stuff really quick, of course, you can follow me, block me, or stalk me at Ananda Galaxiana. You can find us on all your socials. The handle is at Lacuna Galaxiana. And papá, como siempre, antes de olvidarme, buenos días, tardes o noches. Bienvenidos a Sad Fu Hours, el primer capítulo de Sad Fu Hours en esta temporada 2026. Pues vámonos.
We want to shout out Big Scotty and Glendora. I have some fond memories of Glendora. I have a cousin that lives out there. Really good Chinese food spot out there. Anyway,
Donut Man, woo, fire on Route 66, man. If you haven't been there, I'm gonna take you there. I don't know if you've been there.
Let's go. But let's take it serious for one moment, because this is something that, like, you know, we want to talk about that affects, you know, the MLS community at large. Today we found out that Ilona Lowen, the wife of St. Louis city midfielder Edu Lowen, lost her battle with cancer. I mean, as somebody who has lost somebody from cancer as well, I mean, it's devastating, especially after long battles like this. So, I mean, just all the good vibes out to Edu, and, you know, the St. Louis family, his family. Ananda, I got nothing else to say, man.
Yeah, I know. If I say a lot too, I've had a kind of a tough year, as you know, Rob, last year, of losing no one in my immediate family, thank God, knock on wood, but, you know, losing some extended family members. So guys, it just puts things in perspective. And just like a great man once said, tell your loved ones you love them. And that's all I can say.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, tell the women in your life that you love them and appreciate them. And I mean, it is Women's History Month at the digs right now, but, like, don't let it just be a month to tell, you know, the women in your life that you love them and you appreciate them. Toxicos, you all came from a woman, so, you know, like, let's get with the program. Let's love and honor them and stuff. And speaking of that, you know, the Galaxy did wish a happy International Women's Day to women out there everywhere. One of my favorite events every year is Baddies that Lars does, and, you know, the women take over the Capitol box, and it is a fantastic event. And the Galaxy will be celebrating Women's History Month at the Digs on Saturday, March 14th against Sporting Kansas City. They will also be partnering with the Women's Coaching Alliance, which is a nonprofit organization committed to developing female leaders through coaching youth sports. They're going to be the official community partner of the match. So go ahead and enjoy that programming for the 14th of March. On the same day, the Galaxy will be doing pups at the pitch. If you have a pup, I highly suggest you take them out. This is a fun time. Even Kobe, who doesn't really do well with other pups and, you know, a lot of noise and stuff like that, had a great time. So go ahead and take your pup out to the berm. La Puente in the house, shout out. We do appreciate it.
Shout out.
Pablito Ramos, what up with it? Yeah, man. Champions Cup match this week, and then Sporting Kansas City. It's a busy week. So anyway, moving on. There are Landon bobbleheads next month, approximately like 3 weeks from now. 15,000 Landon Donovan bobbleheads will be given out before the game against Minnesota United. That'll be on April 4th. A limited amount of Landon Donovan USA flag, Merca, will feature. They'll be giving out 500. So I don't know how they're going to give out the 500. Maybe like the first come first serve. But Oof. In any case, there's I know this has the potential to be a thing. And I know you Galaxy fans, so get there early. If you want one of these, get there early. There's only 15,000 of them. I don't want to see you on Mercari or any of these resale sites later selling these for like $2 or like 300 quid. Like, that's just ridiculous. Like, that's what y'all always do. Keep it legit. Let a G get one. Come on now. But anyway,
Mickey Giddy said 500 are randomly distributed. So I guess they're like boxed up and you can't see through it. I don't know.
Oh, that is. I mean, I wonder if you're part of the 500. Like, do you get like a special prize beyond the American flag? Like, hey, you got a special cabana night or something like that.
Oh man, that would be awesome.
That'd be pretty chill. Anyway, Galaxy, don't let me do your marketing for you. Come on now. So anyway, guys, moving on to some news here. VCFC, the LA Galaxy's second team, won in penalties recently. They beat Austin 2. They won in penalties 3-2. They came back down though from 2 to score 2 goals in 3 minutes in the 73rd and 76th. Troy Elgersma and Dylan Vanny had the goals. Dylan Vanny also scored the game-winning penalty. Mason Vanny, keeping it an all Vanny affair, had an assist in this game as well. And you're getting a rehabbing Isaiah Parente coming back on this one and playing 61 minutes. Big Scott with the super chat. Love the 2 highlights of my week. Cancer sucks. Yeah, man. It really does, man. We're with you too, Papa. Pablo, a tu jefecita.
Yep.
Honor. Man, it's yeah. Like I said, if you don't have someone in your life that has gone through it, then you know somebody that has gone through it. I mean, it legitimately does suck. But anyway, this result drops VCFC down to 3rd in the table. After 2 games played, they are 1-0-1. They are on 5 points with a +2 goal differential. Ananda, un partidazo se viene for this team, bro. They play the league leaders next, VCFC versus St. Louis 2 at the Willie Roll. Yes, that is true. I am still trying to make William Roland Stadium the Willie Roll.
We gotta make it out there one day, man. I know it's a little bit of a
get behind me, yo. Make it the Willie Roll. If we pull up to the Willie Roll, y'all gotta be like, Willie Roll, Willie Roll. Let me see you, Willie Roll. Anyway,
that should be a good chant. That's a chant. That's a chant. That should be the next.
That's just showing my age right there. I'm sorry, kids. I'll never try to be cool again. Anyway, they are on 5 points, +2 goal differential, and they are trying to pad that point total next week against the league leaders on Sunday, March 15th at 5 p.m. So yeah, we do got to go out there, man. We've been saying it for a cool minute, and it was a lot easier when it was at the digs, but we do got to go out there. And I mean, there's got to be some bomb food out there in Thousand Oaks too, right?
It's got to be. There's got to be some bomb paraditas out there, right? Some taco trucks. There's got to be some bomb ones.
All my Thousand Oaks cuneros, let me know where the bomb spots are in Thousand Oaks.
Yeah, all the Valley folk. You guys
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Let us know. Oh, so now it's drama. Now it's chisme time, bro.
Oh, you love this stuff. This came out of nowhere, man. Like I saw like
Nah.
we were working out. Well, we were working on the agenda this morning. I was like, whoa, that was a crazy bomb. So I'm just gonna put it up on the screen.
Yeah, bro. This is wild. So Yaya Boa and Derek Jones copped lifetime bans from the commish Don Garber and the league. It was proven that they were betting on matches, on their own matches.
Wild.
Blood, like I find, like, for me, I find this particularly distasteful, man. Like, I ask your friend Mosca. Like, he tries to bet me on soccer all the time, and I'm like, no, I don't bet on soccer because it's against my ethics, because I write on the sport. So like, I don't want to like cross any like ethical boundaries. But then you have these two players just betting on themselves, betting on their teams, you know, like, hey, let's coordinate to get yellow cards and tip our homies off so they make money. This is,
I mean, I hate being brash, but like, how brain dead do you need to be? Like, seriously, like, this is your professional reputation, career, life on the line, like, just for this, man. And you know what? Can I say something about this too, Rob? And this is like actually really important that relates to our show. This is why actually I know like you like to do the joke, like, you know, me when I pull up betting odds with Dr. Aquino. And honestly, like I've actually purposely strayed away from betting odds per se, and I want to pull up win probabilities because that's more appropriate to like what we're trying to kind of decipher, right, and kind of predict. And so like, and it's because of this. It's like I don't, because I don't believe in it. I'm like you. I fall on the same side. Like, I don't want to condone this. Like, I personally don't bet on things either. And I just don't want to be someone that condones it, but I do want to be someone that is like factually based. And so I'm trying to find like other ways to get to quote unquote betting odds, which is win percentage. So that's why I've purposely done that. And so, and because of stuff like this, like I don't know, not for me, sorry.
No, don't, you're not gonna be sorry at all, man. The homie Marvin says homies took that old phrase, bet on yourself, a little too literal. I love it. Miggy Greaves, Mike Gray says the funny thing is Yayabo is currently playing for a Chinese Super League side who's -7 on the table for penalties, including betting on matches, and he just scored for them in his debut last weekend, I believe, a couple days ago. So anyway, yeah, but like I said, everybody knows that I'm pretty like, you know, open to like forgive a lot of stuff, and I'm like, oh, you know, like, no, this is throw the book at these two gentlemen. Like, this is, like I said, particularly distasteful to me. But anyway, moving on. Let's give you your MLS Match Week 3 recap. Some of the highlights of this match day include NYCFC smashing Orlando City 5-0. This one had another red card that impacted the result, just like the Galaxy. Inter Miami continued winning after that opening day fiasco by beating DC United 2-1. San Jose remains unbeaten and gets another shutout with a 1-0 win over Philly. If y'all saw that one, Timo Werner served up a nasty pass for the winning goal. Werner, I mean, who knew he was gonna be a success
doing the business?
Doing the business. So did San Diego do the business, who beat Sporting Kansas City 1-0. They are still unbeaten. Vancouver beat a are they Cascadia rivals? Is that accurate? Is Vancouver part of that? Anyway, somebody fact check me on that one. But but if they are, Vancouver beat a Cascadia rival, Portland, 4-1. And then another Canadian team showed signs of life with the Montreal defeating New York Red Bulls 3-0 away. Shout out Jalen Neal.
Shout out Truth.
Yeah, shout out Truth, man.
You know what though? He didn't play in that game, Papa. He didn't play in that game. Like, I want to investigate that a little more. What's going on with Truth? Anyways, another pod.
Yeah, no, that's we're gonna have to have him on and talk to him. And see what he did with it. Shout out Shout out Galaxy Mom. Shout out Truth. Shout out Bubs. El Gatito. Anyway, finishing up our MLS Match Week 3 recap, the Josh Sargent era got off to a 1-0 away win over Cincy successfully. So Toronto gets the win and they get to kick on and let's see if 27 million was worth it, but so far so good, right, Ananda?
Yeah, so far so good. Well, we got to see continuous pattern of it. But really quick, I should have probably pulled this graphic up, but through match day 3, there's six unbeaten clubs in MLS. LAFC, Nashville, NYCFC, San Diego, the Quakes, and Vancouver. Which of those teams surprised you the most? I mean, it's pretty obvious, but
Los Quakes, Los Quakes.
Gotta be, man. What is Bruce cooking in San Jose? What a shrewd signing Timo Werner.
It's almost like he's a good coach or something.
It's almost like he's a good coach overnight. And this is what I thought San Jose was going to be last year. And it's crazy how like a locker room and like the personalities in there, right? It's funny how that can be such a big determining factor whether you win or lose. So pretty crazy.
Yeah, man. It's when Bruce said it was addition by subtraction, losing Josef, using Chicho.
He was right.
Losing
well, so far.
Espinoza. Yeah, so far. Yeah, I mean, he was right. Yeah, I mean, it's so then there were six unbeaten teams. Let's see who falls next match day. But the Galaxy did fall on their last match day. And I suppose it is time to get into it in another edition of Sad Fool Hours. But before we get into it, we'd like to remind you, go ahead and subscribe to the show. Anyway, let's get into the match recap here.
It's got to be a jingle.
Start. Yeah. Oh, let me make a good one, man. Let me make a good one. We'll have you on bass. I'll play a little guitar. It'll be a good time. So let's start with All Star starting lineup. And yo te dije, brujo, yo te dije.
You were right. Yep, you were right. But okay, so I want to ask you though. You got it right, but then you said on the I can't remember if it was the watch along or the instant reaction, you said that you wish you weren't right. So do you still stand by that?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said on the live watch along, shout out to Big Pay and Big Tab.
Shout out Talking Galaxy. Subscribe to them.
Yeah, for sure. Like I told those boys, like, I always go into when we pick the team, like I think about what I would do, and then I think about what I think Greg would do, and I thought that Greg would go with Marco because he loves Marco. I mean, and honestly, Marco is quality on his day. But I didn't think that he would have the requisite engine for the midfield that Colorado was going to throw at them. And I mean, I was partly right. I mean, I didn't really think he had that much of an impact or effect on the game. So, like Marco? I said, Marco, yeah.
You know what though, Papa? Like I'm gonna push back and I'm gonna actually defend your starting lineup a little bit. And I'm gonna push back a little bit. But like, Marco, I want to say he led the team with chances created, with 3 chances created. And to be honest, with some more clinical finishing, he could have had 2 assists easily. You remember that cutback in the first half? A cutback, a perfect ball to Pec, shoots it straight at the keeper. That was the one.
Right at the keeper.
I said at the watch along, I said maybe he should have gone back against the keeper because the keeper was kind of shading to the right. And Peyton, who's a goalkeeper, kind of agreed. He's like, yeah, like keeper's already shading to his right. So maybe he should have shot it across the keeper. But again, that was a sweet pass by Marco. And that's what you want him in there for, right? Is to create chances. So I'm going to defend your lineup a little bit. I don't think he was as ineffective maybe as you think, because he did create the chances. Like I said, I think he led the team. I think that was a team lead with 3 chances created. And that's where you want Marco in the final third, creating those opportunities. He's not going to, you don't want him in there to like go back and defend, and especially against like with 10 men, right? That's not who he is.
Oh, even though he did that one time, remember? We were like, oh,
that was his 1-duel-1, by the way. Because I checked the stat sheet. That was his 1-duel-1. So shout out Marco for the duel 1. But yeah, like you want him in those pockets in the final third, creating those chances. And like I said, on another day, he could have had 2 assists, easy.
On another day. And I've been watching that Marvel series. What if? Yeah, what if, man? Another day. What if Gabby hadn't gotten the red card? What if Gabby had finished? What if Joseph had finished? What if
Joseph didn't get injured? There's so many what ifs, man.
Man, it's terrible. But yeah, like I said, I did get the lineup right because, like I said, I guessed for what I thought Greg was gonna do. He did it. I didn't think that it looked that great personally, but you're right. It did create a couple chances, and so I guess I can't. What do I always say? You can't push back on math, or the proof is the math, or the proof is in the data. And I mean they did create chances, so I guess Marco not as ineffectual as I initially thought.
It's more like expectations, right? Like, what is the expectation for Marco based off of his position on the team, his salary, etc.? You want him to be creating chances. You want him to always be the team leader in chances created, because that's what he's in there for, right? So if he's not doing that, that's kind of like, that's one parameter to judge him. Like, I'm not going to judge him on winning tackles and duels and tracking back like that one time that he did, right? And so and especially in altitude, like the other thing is, like, in even altitude, like I know there's some guys
in the cold, in altitude. Dang.
Well, even Klauss couldn't take it for 60 to 70 minutes, right? He wanted it. Greg said post match, like, Klauss wanted off after, what is it, that 60? Can't remember what minute that was. 70 minutes. He was like, he asked Klauss if he can go another 5, and he said yeah, and then he's like, no, I can't do this. I mean, the altitude is a serious thing, man. Like, I don't think we can understate that. But anyways, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, I mean, you really can't understate the altitude, and you're right. Greg did say that Klauss told him he was gassed, but yeah, man, this one was again just for me. I think they could have been a little bit more clinical, and I think that a little bit more clinical comes through a little bit more of that youthful energy. That's just me. Hindsight's 2020. So I'm not really sure if it would have paid off or not, but I'm just going off
with these analysis. It's like hindsight's always 2020, Papa. That's why I'm actually backing your instinct with your starting 11. I think you had the right idea, and the stats kind of showed out, but it's just the one game. We'll talk about that later. Killed it.
Yes, we will talk about it later, but let's go ahead and dial in on a player here. We have El Compa Juan Quintanilla here says have to start Cerrillo, Wynder, and Sanabria. Well, let's dial in on Elijah Wynder here. Ananda, take it away.
Yeah, so let's start with the stat sheet first, guys, and then I'll ask Rob actually about the eye test and what he thought. But so Elijah actually had a really clean game statistically, Papa. He had 5 defensive contributions. So again, guys, defensive contributions are things like clearances, tackles, and blocks. So he had 5 of those. That's really good actually for a midfielder. 5 out of 7 duels won. So again, strong, physical in the challenge. Doesn't get knocked off easily. Dispossessed Papa 0 times, so clean and tidy. Attempted 39 passes with a 92% pass accuracy. 3 passes into the final third, which was one of the team leaders. And I think I want to see more of that. Like, I want to see more of that forward pass and him getting into the opposition. The good thing about most of those passes, Papa, is most of them were in the opposition's half. And I'm going to pull up his heat map here in the pass map. I'll take this away so you guys can see that a little better. So, Baba, you can see the pass map there is on the right. And a couple things I noticed was, number one, more than half of those were in the opposition's half. So that's good. Like, he's not in, we're not having him in his own half, passing back to the center backs and being safe. He is sort of marauding into those forward positions, into the middle and final thirds. He had 2 key passes in this game. And look at those. I circled those in red, Papa. They were just outside the box. And so I think that's the part of the game that we need to how do we unlock that part of Wynder's game and get him into those positions, maybe have him create more chances? Or remember, like last year, there was that one play, I can't remember against what team. It was towards the end of the season. He took it from about midfield, went all the way and scored that really, really nice goal. that 1v1. It shows like his power, his physicality, his ability to run with the ball. So that was really good. SofaScore had him at a 6.4, FOTMob 7.0. So, Papa, stats wise, Elijah had a pretty clean game. But what did you see from the eye test? Did that back up or match what the stats are saying?
You know, I don't remember during the watch along at any point going like, "Oh man, Elijah, what are you doing?" Or like, "Oh man, Wynder messed up," or something like that. You know, like I don't remember calling him out at all. And that for me is always a good sign. You know, that means you're tidy, you're neat. You don't have occasion for people to call attention to you because you're doing what you need to do. You're humming right along, right? So, and that's what I think he's starting to bring. Like it's not Greg's not starting him for no reason, right? Like that's 2 in a row, and since he's been available, he's started basically, at least in the league. So yeah, I think he's going to continue to grow into this, and I think we already know that Cerrillo is pretty much locked in as the starting 6. I think Elijah's slowly becoming locked in as the other midfielder, and then you need somebody to complement them both and unlock them both. And this is where I'm going to push back on
Sanabria. Yeah.
Well, this is where I'm going to push back on your pushback, right? You said that you're not going to judge Royce on things like tackling and tracking back and stuff like that. And he did create chances, right? But now he, as the senior veteran midfielder in that group, needs to find ways to unlock them both and work with them both correctly to be able to unlock the offense, right? It just hasn't looked that fluid or great. It's looked a little choppy in the midfield at times, with like the interchange between them all, right? But that's going to come with time, I guess. So
you know what?
You got to hang in there.
Papa? I think the nuance in this is, and this is where now Greg needs to step in and really like dissect this and analyze this the right way. I think the way I see this is it's different horses for different courses. Meaning, if you're going to face a team against a low block, like maybe Mount Pleasant, for example, you want guys like Royce in there to unpick the lock in the final third. He's the one that's going to make the key pass or the secondary pass, the hockey assist, right? He's going to be the one that's going to be sitting between the lines and putting through balls in or cutting through and making the right weight of pass, right? And that continuity in the final third. If you're now going against a more high energy team and maybe one where you need a little bit more legs, that's maybe where you plug in Lucas Sanabria. So again, this is kind of like situation recognition now, and different horses for different courses. Go for it.
I agree. Different horses for different courses, and this is where I was going to push back as well, because you mentioned Royce and then Sanabria. Sanabria is not a 10. Like and so when you throw Sanabria into that midfielder with Cerrillo and Wynder, you're losing an element of creativity in attack. And so for me, and you kind of came at me.
Okay, go ahead. I'm going to push back on that with a simple what happened against Charlotte with that midfield.
Sure. I agree with you. Yeah, they had a good game against Charlotte, but it's not like they were scoring those goals, right? I mean, Klauss had 2 of those goals, right? And one of them was a mistake from the defense.
Yeah, but it was the press.
Yeah, it was
the ball progression though. But it was the ball progression. It was the Cerrillo ball over the top that hit Pec before. It was the hockey assist. It was the Sanabria hockey assist. I think it was the second or third goal. So it's not about necessarily who's at the end of it, but it's about what is going to get this team best up the pitch in those situations, whether it's in transition or the buildup. And let's be fair to both of us too. 3 regular season games or 5 games in total is not a big enough sample size. Like we need to
not at all.
We need to revisit the conversation in like 10, 15 games.
But I say all that. I'm pushing back on those 2 gentlemen, on Royce and Sanabria, because like I said, I don't think Sanabri's 10, and I don't think Royce is particularly getting it done right now. You kind of swayed me a little bit, but you're. What about the forgotten man, Eric Tommy? Like, we
just
were
need to see him. Well, there's two forgotten men, by the way. There's two. There's him, and then the guy that we talked about in the instant reaction, Papa, Justin Hack. What? Like, how does he fit into this puzzle?
Yeah,
that's a huge piece of this. Like, I'm surprised that Galaxy fans hasn't talked about this enough. But like, this big free agent signing that we had.
Where is Justin Hack?
Where is he? Like, I hope I see him on Wednesday. Let's put it that way. Anyways, let's move on. But we could be here all day with this.
Yeah, we're all conspiratorial. No, where is he?
We're all in our feels. It's sad foo hours. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry, guys. And like I said, what's worse about it is you can't even drink Modelo now. Sad times. Anyway, guys, if you didn't watch the game, you didn't watch it on repeat, and you didn't watch Minuto de la Mañana, I'm sorry to tell you that yes, it is sad foo hours, and we're here because the LA Galaxy lost to Western Conference rival Colorado Rapids 4-1 at Dick's Sporting Good Park in Commerce City, Colorado. It started pretty well. The Galaxy wasted several good opportunities to find a goal in the first half, though, but they did carry the run of play. And just like the old adage says, the goals you don't make get scored against you. So the Galaxy wasted several good opportunities, and then the Rapids hit them on the counter, and Darren Yappy just kind of made Maya Yoshida like just not look great on this goal, man. For the 1-0 in the 23rd minute. In the Minuto, I said he put him on skates. It kind of did look like that.
He did.
After entering halftime down 1-0, the Galaxy kind of got it together. They came out with some good intensity, and they pulled level in the 56th minute through Joao Klauss, who met a back post Gabriel Pec cross with a well-placed header. And that makes 3 games straight in which Klauss scores. He has 4 now for the season. Congratulations to Joao Klauss. I mean, I wrote an article about it. You guys might want to read it about how he's becoming a fan favorite. If he keeps on scoring like that, he's going to become even more of a fan favorite. But I did mention Gabriel Pec and his assist for that goal. The goal provider would turn into the main talking point on the night, as his second yellow for a clumsy sliding challenge led to Pec getting a red card and leaving his team down to 10 men for more than 30 minutes. And what's terrible about this, guys, is that if you were watching the match, you knew that the Galaxy was growing into this match. They had scored the goal to tie. They were in momentum. They were in the driver's seat. They were carrying the run of play, and it looked very likely that they would probably get another goal. They looked more likely to get one anyway. But Pec's red card flips this one completely on its head. And I'm not going to say immediately. The Galaxy did hang on for a spell. I even remarked during the watch party that the watch along that, hey, it doesn't even look like they're down a man, until it looked like they were down a man, because Colorado finally figured out a way to take advantage of it, the man advantage, and they would score 3 more goals in the last 20 minutes of the match to make it 4-1. Rafael Navajo, did I say it right this time?
Yep,
Ananda?
yep. Well,
hell yeah.
Well played.
Yes, thank you. Shout out to Matt Pollard for hooking us up with the pronunciation on that one. That man scored a brace to kill it off. Just give him way too much space. But I mean, I was telling Ananda that my argument is that they should have been well and clear of Colorado by the time Gabriel Pec's red card happens. I mean, the amount of chances they wasted. I mean, Pec himself had 2, JP had 1, Klauss had 1 as well. It could have very well have been 4-0, 4-1 before Pec's red card, and just this team doesn't have the ability to be clinical and execute. And I know you look like you wanted to say something, so get it off your chest, Papa.
I was gonna say, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna jump to this now because you kind of queued it up for me very nicely, and this was actually gonna be my one key stat, Papa. So I'm gonna back you up on the fact that we should have killed this game off, right? So, before the red card, the Galaxy, including the goal now, the Galaxy had 7 shots on target versus Colorado's 2. In the end, it was shots on target 7-6 at full time. Okay. Now, someone said in the chat, let me see if I can find this comment because I was like, ooh, I should have started. Anyways, someone said in the chat that like, okay, Pablo Ramos says, we came out the second half playing good, getting shots on goal. So let me back you up on that, Pablo. LA Galaxy, Papa, had 9 attempts at shots between minute 52 and minute 56.
9
attempts at shots. And you know what? I will show them because this is the shot map in the second half. Look at all those shots in the box. Again, this is just the second half, right? Look at all those shots in the box. And most of those came in between minute 52 and 56. Of course, you see where the soccer ball is. There's the goal. And then the red card happened literally right after that. So, Papa, statistically speaking, you were absolutely right. We had so many chances to win this game. I mean, Yamane had one blocked off the line. By the way, keeper had a blinder. Let's give some credit to the Colorado. He had an absolute blinder. And no, it was not Zach Steffen.
Yeah, Pate told us during the watch along that that guy also played last year against the Galaxy.
And he played another blinder.
Matches. Yeah, yep. And I was like, dang, what does the Galaxy owe him money or something like that? Like, what's going on with this guy? Like, anyway, yeah, no, I mean, again, they should have been well and clear by the time Pecky's red card happens. And so, yes, it did change the match, but again, I contend that they should have gotten the 3 points already. And then on the flip side, since they didn't, then they should have been defensively strong enough to go ahead and make it more respectable at the very least. But like I mentioned, Joao Klauss scores his 4th goal in this one. We mentioned Eric Tommy. He did make his debut in this one. Second half substitute in the 71st minute. Mauricio Cuevas made his regular season debut as a second half sub. And that's when he replaced Joseph Paintsel in the 50th minute due to injury, which is something we haven't even really talked about, Ananda. I know that somebody in chat asked about it. I believe that they talked about it on Corner of the Galaxy, that I believe Kevin Baxter said that it was a light hamstring strain. I believe that's correct.
Minor hamstring strain, probably out for Wednesday, but no official timetable yet. Minor hamstrings, look, it could be, I don't know, days to weeks, no idea. We'll wait for the official report.
Yeah, well, Joseph can't go. I guess I'll do it. But anyway, let's see if they call me.
Hey, G-Cam, you down? No.
Exactly. Like, no, like, I mean, come on, man. Like, I could have been a contender, but this knee is. Anyway, that's another pod for another time. And like we mentioned, this the turning point was Gabriel Pec being dismissed from this match. I love Greg's just his quote on this one about like, I love the effort, just I don't love the decision making. And yeah, I guess. So anyway, and Anna, you usually have one key stat for us as well for this match. I mean,
yeah, which I mean, you queued it up perfectly for me, and that was my one key stat. I mean, that's crazy, right? 9 attempted shots between minute 52 and 56. Like we were about to run it up, man. Like we had so many chances. Like it's pretty wild. But you know about the Gabriel Pec thing really quick? Like I don't know if you saw, I posted a tweet today, and it was a highlight with actually Keith Costigan on the call. So shout out Keith, of the Caps Portland game. And it was a clip of Berhalter. They were up 4-1. This was extended time now. It was Sebastian Berhalter running all the way back to make a crunching challenge on a Portland attacker. And it was basically like a highlight reel play, right? And what I wrote was, I feel like this is the exact same thing Pec wanted to do. And look, if it comes off, a brilliant piece of play and you're on a highlight reel. But if it doesn't, well, we know what happens if it doesn't, right? So it's like, it's kind of one of those, and Greg's absolutely right. Like, I applaud the heart and desire. I applaud the work rate to want to get back for your teammates. Like, I applaud that. However, it needs to be balanced with discipline. Like, there has to be an element of discipline and like headiness about this, right? Because if you get it wrong, and God knows if he actually realized he was actually on a yellow, like that's something I'm actually questioning. Like, did he realize he was on a yellow? Like, I'm not sure, right? Because like you're literally putting the other team under the cosh. 9 attempted shots, Papa. Like, just leave it for Glesnes to deal with, and we're good.
Right there.
We're good,
Glesnes
right? We're
right
good.
There.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like, and you know what? It was crazy because this is the first time that Gabriel Pec has ever been sent off in his professional career, I believe.
Okay, so maybe it's one of those things, right? Maybe he just had a bad day in the office, which everyone has. Like, that's why, like, I know, like, he's getting absolute pelters for the fans, and like from an empathy standpoint, like I honestly feel bad for him. Like, I really do, because I know he's like, he's obviously like has a good head on his shoulders. He has a good mentality. He's a good lad, right? So from my side, like I am actually rooting for him. Like, if he gets the start against Mount Pleasant, I am rooting for him to have a bounce back game, and hopefully he shuts all of us up, man, and he puts in a really good shift. So
yeah, I hope so too. But the facts are the facts, and
yeah, unfortunately,
the decision making follows a trend of the Galaxy shooting themselves in the foot, man. I mean, it's again, the Galaxy were in the momentum. They could have won this match, but let's assume for just argument's sake that it ends at 1, right? Because that's where it was. That's at least 1 point lost, right? Then you consider the Garces red card against NYCFC, which costs 3, right? So I mean, 4 points dropped already. I mean, it's Galaxy should be higher on the table, should have more points. I mean, and they are their own worst enemy. It's sad to see, but the other part of it is that no one besides Joao Klauss is really stepping up for me anyway. I mean, like I said, you kind of swayed me a little bit on Royce, but he's not only is scoring goals, but he's being efficient on it. He only had 16 touches in that match.
Yeah,
and he had a goal with one of them.
Yeah,
for me, both DP wingers have been a little poor. I mean, we've kind of beat the dead horse on Techie.
16 touches. Wow, like that's incredible. Like Greg really needs to figure out a system of how to play around Klauss. Like, you know how like some players are heliocentric, right? I've used that term before. Ricky's one of those players. Like, Klauss is becoming that player for this team. And I feel like now the game plan needs to be centered around him. I could be wrong with that, Papa. I could be wrong, but that's my hypothesis. I think for the Galaxy to achieve their maximum potential, they need to game plan. They need to build the plan around Joao. Like, I really think he's that big of a figure, like, in this team.
Well, we have a super chat from the homie Adam. Muchísimas gracias. He says, I was expecting more from Mitrovic compared to the previous 2 games where he didn't face many shots, and his performance wasn't for my liking versus Colorado.
He wasn't great this game. He's not wrong. Adam's not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, the 4th one, honestly, like, they gave Navajo too much space. That's not really on him, but the 3rd one, yeah.
Could he have saved the first one too, Papa? Do you think? Could he have saved the first one? I know Maya gets beat, but like, I don't know, like, you got to stop that one right now. Sorry, there was another one that I'm gonna contradict myself a little bit, but what do you think on that one? Yeah, too harsh
on the first one. Nah, I don't think that's him. I think Yappy gets a good look at goal. He places it well, and like you said, he beats Maya.
Yeah. Do you remember though when we were 10 men, 1-1? There was a breakaway. Navajo 1v1 against the keeper. Mitrovic came out and had a good stop on Navajo. That's the best of Mitrovic, like decisive, quick, especially in those 1v1 moments. So that was actually a really good save. I think we called it out in watch along. Ooh, like nice reflexes there, Mitrovic. But yeah, I think the jury's out. I think we'll leave it at that. The jury's out.
Ooh, well, the road woes continue. Galaxy still have not won on the road. That's 18 consecutive road losses dating back to 2025, which prompted a question from Ananda, y'all. Ananda, did you want to do the honors?
Sure. I was like, what was my question? Yeah, guys. So of course, Rob talked about the 18 consecutive road losses. I mean, do you think that we'll talk about this? Obviously, the Portland game isn't, and that's our next road game, by the way, in league play. Of course, we travel to Jamaica next week, but like, how badly do the Galaxy need a road win? Like, I know Josh always says there's no must wins unless it's like mathematically an actual must win, but how close is it to a must win or getting a result? Because like, I feel like it's one of those things where the longer this goes, again, this is just a hypothesis on my part, right? Like, can that stench or can that feeling of not winning on the road, can that linger long enough in the locker room to affect the player's mentality? Or can Greg and the coaching staff and the team use it as motivation to break the duck? I'm hoping that the latter, right? Because like, if I think about road performances, Papa, I think about last year, 2025, we blew a 2-0 halftime lead in Philly. We blew a 1-0 lead after 40 minutes in San Diego. Like, San Diego scored a minute after that. So it's like these things are building. Like, I just want to squash that with a win. Like, I just want to like not talk about this, not have this be a narrative, and just squash it with a win.
Look at you, Toxico. Look at how much trauma you have, man. Like,
I mean, we have a podcast. We're entitled to talk about these things, right? Like, I'm not trying to like spew propaganda out there, but it's like one of those things where until they win a game, this narrative unfortunately is going to keep continuing. Like, we have to talk about it, you know?
Well, we got to talk about this super chat that we got from the brother G Cam.
Shout out.
I believe you know what we need to do, Ananda. You and I.
Got you on the baritone on that one.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I like it. And shout out to everybody that is in chat today. Thank you so much for making this another fun episode for us. So anyway, yeah, this is something that is yeah, kind of like annoying, but I don't really think it's weighing on them right now. It was one road loss for the season. Come back to me after 10 games, after they've lost 4 or 5 road matches, and then we can start having that conversation. But I don't think it's weighing on them right now. It could has that. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you and say that it doesn't have the potential to become that if it does linger long enough. But I think they'll get a road win before that. I think,
I think Portland's there for the taking. Portland has not started well this year, Papa. I heard on the Soccer Wise podcast, shout out Goss and Matt Doyle. Neville's on the hot seat. Neville is already on the hot seat.
Really?
Yeah. So we've got to take advantage of that situation. But anyways, that's for next week. That's for next week.
We have candidates, y'all, for defending the badge. Honestly, like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I struggled with pulling people that we could pick for this one because not everybody had great games. I mean, even Klauss, who had the goal, like, didn't have like the best game stat wise. Ananda, you already broke down Wynder in his game. He did have a really tidy game. I also liked Yamane's stat sheet. Defensively sound, 5 tackles, 2 clearances, 1 interception, 1 recovery, 5 duels, 1. And Surreal also, I was a little harsher on him during the match, but after actually looking at the stat sheet afterwards, realized that actually had a pretty decent day at the office. 90% pass accuracy, 1 chance created, 4 passes into the final third, 1 tackle, 3 clearances, 1 interception, 4 recoveries, 5 duels, 1. What say you, man? Who's your defending the badge?
I might have actually. You're gonna think I'm crazy, but I might have 2. I think one for me is Jakob, just because like in that presser, I think it wasn't anything about on the pitch. By the way, I think Jakob had one of his worst games as a Galaxy player. And so, but again, his team didn't help him. Honestly, like if Gabe would have just let him have that tackle 1v1 against Navajo, he diffuses that situation, in my opinion, right? But again, if buts and maybes. But just how Jakob carries himself in the press conference, man, and like you could tell he was so like he was just so angry, and he was just like, get me off this presser. Like you could see them seething, right? Like he didn't really want to. He had to fulfill his obligation, which is like mad respect to him, and he carried it out so professionally. But you could tell that he's just like, get me on the plane. I need to sleep this off because this is a horrible day at the office for me and my teammates. And so that, and the other one, Baba, for me, all the traveling fans to Colorado in the cold. So shout out to you guys.
Dude,
shout out to you guys defending the badge 100%.
Yeah, I guess I'll just keep it there. I mean, I mean, easy answer, Klauss. He scored the goal.
Yeah, he's always defending the badge. I feel like, yeah,
it's no secret that I have a little Klauss crush. You know, I did write an article about him and everything.
I'm here for it.
You guys should read that. I write things sometimes. Sporting Tribune, go read it. But anyway, yeah, no, he like I said, he didn't even have a great game, but just I like the way he hustles and stuff like that for the shirt. But yeah, you traveling fans, y'all did your thing. Shout out to you. So where does that leave the Galaxy? After 3 matches, the LA Galaxy dropped to 8th place. They are on 4 points, 1.33 points per game on a 1-1-1 record, 0 goal difference here, 5 goals for, 5 against, and they are tied with Dallas in 9th place. Well, that's in the league. Now we take you over to the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Ananda, it's funny because you have this graphic up, and when I went to FOTMob and I was, you know, trying to do some research on Mount Pleasant there.
Yeah, there was nothing, right?
It literally said no information. And so like I had to do like deep dives and all these other websites and stuff like that. So I actually found like the Jamaican League website and stuff like that. So it was kind of fun, you know, flexing the investigative journalist.
There you go. Share what you found, Baba. Share what you found.
Yeah, well, before we even do that, 2 things. One is we got to get to this super chat here from the homie Adam.
Shout out to Adam.
Thank you, Senor Adam. After 4th versus Minnesota at home, they're on a 3-game road trip to Austin, Dallas, and Columbus. Austin is an 11:30 day kickoff. Our time. Oof.
Body clock. The other dreaded 2-letter word. Body clock.
Yeah. You know, we've been to Austin to see the Galaxy play. They didn't do great. They don't traditionally have a great time in Dallas. And isn't that Columbus game midweek, Adam? Go ahead and check me if I'm wrong on that one, but I believe that's a Wednesday game, the Columbus one. So that one's always going to be tough. Midweek away.
Yeah.
Bad travel. But no, what I was going to bring up, Ananda, is that honestly, we are faced with doing this preview about Mount Pleasant FA versus the Galaxy for the round of 16 in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, and we don't know shit. Like, we just don't even know if the team's going to show up, blood.
All right, end the stream.
Yeah. No, like, I mean, anybody in chat that was listening to Corner of the Galaxy, I don't know if K Baxter did an update on this, but he wrote an article about this, but I believe it was Andrew Hernandez that broke this. At least this is the first place that I saw any news about this, that CONCACAF are currently working with Mount Pleasant because up to 10 of their players weren't able to obtain visas to come to the United States for the team's CONCACAF Champions Cup match against the Galaxy. So guys, this poor team,
it's wild,
is basically not allowed to come to the United States. One of the reasons being is that the Jamaican Premier League side has 6 Haitian players in the squad, and of course Haiti is one of the 19 countries whose citizens have been banned from entering the United States by the administration in Washington at the moment. Sources through Mount Pleasant who were speaking off the record because they didn't want to get in trouble, said a handful of the Jamaican players have also gotten their visas rejected.
Wow.
But although some Jamaican players have gotten their visas rejected, Ananda, some of them, and some of them have gotten their visas denied, actually. And in some cases, just the main issue behind everything is, besides delays, is that some of these, the main issue anyway, is that some of the appointments actually fall after the fixture on Wednesday. So it's like, by that time, it's like we don't really need to go anywhere. Like, why even give us an appointment after that, right?
Yeah.
Paul Christie, who happens to be Mount Pleasant's sporting director, and when I was doing this research, I found out they're actually a football academy. That's how they started,
Right.
And they've been able to become from a football academy to a legitimate first division team in Jamaica. But Paul Christie, who's their sporting director, told the Observer of Jamaica Observer rather, we don't want to just show up for the game. We want to be able to compete, but we are not being given the opportunity to be at our best. He also added that as a consequence of the visas being denied, Coach Theodore Whitmore may have to field 7 or 8 academy kids to make up the numbers for the team. So like I mentioned, CONCACAF is currently working on the issue. They're trying to resolve the issues in conjunction with Mount Pleasant. I'm assuming the Galaxy are doing whatever they can do as well. But this is, particularly troubling. I know, like I mentioned that Andrew Hernandez is the one that I first saw this from, it, and good on him, because he's correctly pointing out that this is, just the first instance of what we might see during the World Cup. I mean, this is the spotlight is on this now, especially in light of the Trump administration's banning of a couple of nationals from countries like Haiti, Iran, Senegal, and Ivory Coast, all which have qualified for the World Cup.
That's wild.
So, yeah, no, it's absolutely wild. It's ridiculous. There are supposed to be exemptions for athletes, support staff, immediate relatives, and competitors, and they can come to the event, but that's not what we're seeing here in Nanda. We're not seeing these players able to come to the United States for this game, and so again, this is particularly troubling because we're about to have the World Cup here. A lot of the supporters for these countries can't make the trip, can't come and support their country, and if what's happening with Mount Pleasant, the Galaxy's next CONCACAF Champions Cup opponent, is any indication, we might not get those teams from Haiti, Iran, Senegal, and Ivory Coast here anyway. I mean, who knows if they're going to be even let in, or are they going to get their appointments afterwards as well? It's just a cluster, man. And honestly, if it does come to pass that Mount Pleasant doesn't get their first team here and has to field a bunch of academy kids, I would expect Greg, who is, for as much as you guys are like Vanny out and everything like that, Greg's a good guy, and I would expect him to probably alter his lineup in that case. And I mean, he would probably playing some Harbor Miller, probably playing some Ruben Ramos. We might see some
call it BCFC, like, like, I mean, shoot, like,
yeah, but this is what we know so far on
wild.
that front, right? It's
and there's no media availability before that, right, Rob? Is
there is. We speak to Greg tomorrow,
right? Yeah,
right. And I've been trying, and I've already emailed the CONCACAF representative to find out when the media availability is for Mount Pleasant, to try to dip in there and try to find out what's going on with them, right? Whether they will have a team to field, or whether they just have to say, like, we don't even have a team to field, or there's academy kids. I mean, like, how old are the academy kids going to be? Like 18, 19, 20? Like, who knows, right? So that's why I'm saying, like, at the top of the segment we were talking about this preview, we don't really know shit, because, like, if they bring their first team, it's going to be one completely different thing. But like I said, based on the information we have right now, that's not going to happen. So we really don't know what Greg and the team are. I mean, I'm gonna straight up gonna ask him tomorrow. Like, does the uncertainty around who Mount Pleasant is going to bring make it difficult to game plan for this? Because again, like I would expect him to play one lineup if they bring him the academy kids, and then another if they bring the first team. So it's a messed up situation, Ananda. I have no idea how anything actually gets done around here. But anyway, that's again another topic for another pod. Let's look at where these two teams are coming into this match, and for the rest of the time here, we're going to assume at least we're going to approach this preview as if they are going to bring the academy kids, right? Because that's what we have the information of right now. So the Galaxy lost their last match 4-1. We've already covered that ad nauseum. But Mount Pleasant, they are currently the Caribbean champions, and they're not doing so badly in the Jamaican Premier League either. They're third with the game in hand. I believe they're just at a touch of the first place spot. They have a 12-3-10 record on 46 points, 38 goals for, 13 goals against, plus 25 goal difference. They tied their last two matches, but before that, they won 4-1 at home and lost 1-0 away. And then in the one before that, 4-0 home win. So they do have goals in them. We're going to get a little bit more clarity on Joseph Painstill tomorrow from Greg and that media availability, but we also know that Emilio Garces and Chris Rindolph currently still unavailable for the Galaxy. And then again, we really don't know who Mount Pleasant might bring. So, I just told you the Galaxy is missing Chris Rindolph and Emilio Garces and most likely Joseph Painstill. Well, Mount Pleasant's missing their whole damn first team. So, it is what it is, I guess, at this point, guys. But let's again. Well, we gave some starting lineups here, and really, this is the starting lineup as if Mount Pleasant brings the entire first team. But again, I don't think that's going to happen. But Ananda, break it down here.
Well, this is yours. So you have a 4-2-3-1. Let's read it out for the audio. So JT in goal. Back forward, Nelson, Hawk, Glesnes, and Cuevas. Serio and Wynder as the two pivots there in the midfield. Harbor Miller on the left for JP because it looks like he's going to be out for sure for Wednesday. Eric Tommy at the number 10. Gabriel Pec gets his spot on the right wing, and then Joao Klauss up top. So yeah, I mean, I'm good. I think Tommy might be a starter for this one, Rob. And then of course Harbor is going to get his chance. I think he's done well on the left wing every time he's deputized for JP. And Hawk instead of Yoshida. You want to see him at the center back? I do too. I just want to see him. I just want to see him. Period. I don't care where. I want to see him play goalie.
You're just worried about that, blood.
I mean, dude, it's worrying. He was supposed to be a really pivotal piece of this team. It's worrying.
Yeah, I mean, well, again, we've only been in the season for about a month, so let's see if it keeps trending that way. Do you have any stats for this one to impart upon us?
Do I have any stats? Well, it's not going to even matter if Mount Pleasant doesn't bring their whole first team. So
Jesus,
again, right. it's like one of those things where we can
talk about it when the cows come home, but. It won't matter. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But you know what? I did find a curiosity and a rarity when I was doing some research about Mount Pleasant.
We'll pull it up.
Their leading goal scorer is named Raheem Edwards. No, not that one.
Nope.
Nope. Not that one. Another Raheem, the Dream Edwards, who is Mount Pleasant's leading goal scorer with 11 goals in 18 games played. Daniel Green has 5 in 19, and Warren Brown has 4 goals in 9 games played. Most likely, they will not be with the team for this match against the Galaxy. So the Galaxy will play one team here Los Angeles, and then another team there in Jamaica. It's going to be a wild. Anyway, but Ananda, let's bring the receipts. And before we do, let's ask chat. Chat, let us know what you think the score is going to be for this one. Let us know who you think is going to win. But before we get to Ananda's answer on that one, for the Galaxy to win this match, they have to.
It kind of depends too which team they actually come out with. But either way, Papa, like they have to not play down to the level of their competition. I think that's probably one of those things where maybe from the fans' perspective, they saw a little bit against San Miguelito. I will say though, San Miguelito was a lot better than I expected. They were not only good individual defenders, they were strong and they were physical in the challenge, but they were also compact. Like they were very organized. That 5-4-1, if you have athletes in there that can play that, it's pretty hard to break down, right? It's not the easiest. But for like Mount Pleasant, again, I have never seen this team, have no idea about them, like no idea. Like I'm gonna hold my hands up, like no idea, right? But what we do know is when the Galaxy play down to the level of their competition, bad things happen. So we can't do that. We can't underestimate them, but at the same time, like we can't play down to the level. Like we have to impose our will, if you will. So yeah, we can't do that. We have to take this game seriously. We have to be professional about this. And I hope they do. And you know what? If it takes some of the VCFC or some of the young cats to go in there, like your Rubens, your Tuckers, your Mauricios, your Harbors, so be it. Because these kids are hungry. I'm sure they're seething at getting a starting berth, right, Papa? Like these guys are professionals. They're competitive. They want to play. And I'm sure they're not happy about not getting into playing time. So if it takes that to inject some of that life and some of that exuberance in this team, do it. Love to see it.
I'm about it. For me, for the Galaxy to win this match, they have to forget the drama and just play the match. If in fact they do play the academy kids and Greg doesn't play, like the Galaxy's own depth or kids, and they have the first team out there, the first team's still got to go out there and take care of business, just like you said, not play down to the opposition and just be ruthless and kill it off, right? I mean, it's not the Galaxy's fault that they couldn't come through with their first team. Like I said, I would expect Greg to be more sporting, but if he doesn't, no shame in that either. So again, Galaxy to win this match, they just have to play the game, forget the drama, and then play whatever game is in front of them without guilt or remorse or whatever. Now it's time for the receipts part of the show, Ananda. And since I went first last time during the last show for chat score predictions, then it is your turn.
That's 100% wrong because chat always goes first, Papa. So chat, go ahead and drop all the score predictions. But it's funny, eSuper made a little cheeky one earlier. He says, "Watch Vanny tie them 1-1." So, anyways, but Chad,
all you toxicals have way too much trauma.
But anyways, Chad, go ahead and drop him in the chat there. But no, I think the Galaxy, whichever the lineup they throw out, I just have a sneaky feeling that like this last Colorado match like really put a dent in their spanners, right? Really put a wrench in their spanners. So I think they're going to come out and they're going to come out with a professional performance. I think it is going to be I think there's going to be more young players than we think in that starting 11, Papa. Even though this is the home leg, and I think the Galaxy pull out a professional performance, 3-1. 3-1.
Okay. That feels it. Again, we don't know what team we're gonna get from Mount Pleasant. That puts a big wrench in everything, but they just got to again just play the game in front of them, and they have enough quality to beat Mount Pleasant on paper at the very least. So you know what? I'm gonna support you on this one. See, but para que veas, I'm supporting on this one 3-1 as well. Let's go with it.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I could increase that. I'm good with what Joe Cool said about the Klauss hat trick. Maybe 4-1. Klauss Hattie. How about that? Maybe 4-1. Klauss
That's not.
and then that'd be 7 goals this season.
Let's not get carried away.
He's
you
that
know
good
what?
though. He can definitely. I mean, he scored a hat trick against the Galaxy. So if he can do it against the Galaxy 2025, maybe the defensive levels are the same as Mount Pleasant. But let's get some of these chat ones, Rob.
Really quick.
pasó?
Before we hit those game predictions, let's really quick hit this super chat from the homie Adam.
Oh,
Gracias for that, Senor Adam. When does Mitrovic contract end, and do you guys think they'll give him a new contract, or with they've on the market for a new goalkeeper? I'm actually not sure when Mitrovic's contract ends, but I think my sentiments are with Ananda. Adam, he said earlier, like the jury is still kind of out. Some people think he should have done better on some of these goals that Colorado got. Certainly, I think nothing really to be done on the fourth one. On the third one, for sure. Yeah, I think that the Galaxy doesn't have their goalkeeper for the long term between the six at the moment.
Mitrovic's contract expires this year, and of course, guys, he's taking up an international slot, a valuable international slot, which looks like the going rate's like 200K these days, right? So, yeah, I look, if it's one of those things where you get a guy like JT, who doesn't take up an international spot, and you don't see a big drop off, we could cut our losses. I mean, that's a possibility, 100%. So yeah, but I agree with Rob there as a good assessment. So. Really quick, so chat score predictions. La Habra says Galaxy 2-0. Joe 13 Cool 5-1 Klaus Hattie and Tommy Golasso. I love that. GCam says it's got to be 6-0 or bust. Let's see. Pablo says 3-0. E Super says 5-0, and then he changed his mind, said 13-0. I would love that. And then Joe 13 changed his mind and said, nah, I think it's 13-1. So Brandon Gonzalez says 4-0 Mount Pleasant. Yeah, I mean, I think it's got to be, at least 2-3 goal difference scoreline here. I think you've got to kill this tie off and eliminate any scenarios that you want in Mount Pleasant, because you've got a tough week that week. You've got to fly to Jamaica, and then you've got an away match at Portland. Granted, same time zone as LA, but you're gonna have to readjust time. I don't know how many hours ahead Jamaica is, but I know there's a time difference. So,
but it is like a 9-hour flight.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, it's one of those things again. CONCACAF, man. But that's the thing. Like the more the Galaxy put this tie out of sight in the first leg, the better it will be. So hopefully we'll have another offensive eruption like we did at Charlotte. 3-0, 4-1, 5-1.
Offensive eruption. Anyway, I'm upset the Galaxy's not flying me out to this one. I always wanted to go to Jamaica. So you know what, Galaxy, fly me out, man. Come on. Ananda, I think for this prediction here, chat is I like the optimism, but I think this is why we get let down a little bit if it doesn't happen. But have you fallen into the chat's exuberance, or are you going with something a little bit more pared back for the predictions?
Yeah. Well, I said it earlier. I said it was 3-1, right?
Oh,
so, and then you followed me on that. So yeah, I think it's going to be professional. I don't think it's going to be like a crazy score line, but again, this is the expectation. So the question is, do the Galaxy meet up to those expectations? The other problem with this too is I've never watched Mount Pleasant play, so I couldn't tell you what kind of game plan they're going to come with. If I was a betting man though, which I'm not, but if I was, I would say that Mount Pleasant's going to come really defensive. They're just going to set up in a low block, right? Because they've seen how that works. They've seen San Miguelito play with that. Now, do they play that in their league? I'm not sure. But that seems to be a good way to counter the Galaxy style play. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Well, next on this humble little podcast you call La Cuna Galaxiana, the Galaxy will return home for the first leg of the round of 16, and they will be playing that on Wednesday, March 11th at the Digs. We'll see you guys there. Come find us, get some stickers. Then on Thursday, March 12th, we'll break down everything that happened in the first leg between the Galaxy and Mount Pleasant. By then, we'll know all the Cheesemen. We'll know who actually pulled up to play for Mount Pleasant. And then we'll also get you ready for the Galaxy's match against Sporting Kansas City at home on the weekend, Saturday, March 14th. Then on Monday, March 16th, it's the reverse as we bring you our LA versus Sporting Kansas City match reaction. And then we get you ready for leg 2 of the CONCACAF Champions Cup happening on Thursday, March 19th. Remember, that match is at 4 p.m. So get to work early, take a half day, do what you got to do, put the games at 4. Ananda, anything else to add for the children's, for these lovely cuneros, for these lovely toxicos during sad fool hours? And it was fun sharing it with you guys.
Yep.
First one of the year.
Yeah. Well, really quick last word from chat. GCam asked, where can I get a mug, an LCG mug? Well, you know what, GCam, we're actually working on a lot of like little merch things and tchotchkes, as I like to call them, for you guys, some swag. So it's coming soon. We are working on it, but yeah, it's in progress. So stay tuned, man. Stay tuned for sure. But no, thank you, chat, for I hope you enjoyed this version of Sad Foo Hours. Hope we don't have too many more of these, and hope we talk on Thursday after the Galaxy, hopefully route Mount Pleasant. And remember to stay tuned. We will have a live presser for you. We'll be doing a live feed from the presser on Wednesday, and maybe if we can, we'll get some because they have mixed zone, so maybe we'll do some live things with the players as well. So stay tuned. Thanks for keeping it locked with us, and we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time, guys. Joe 13 Cole says Lacuna beer cozy, so I can cover my disgraceful modelos. You know, we won't judge, man. You like to drink what you like to drink. Well, Cuneros, thank you so much for being here with us. I believe there's only one thing left to say, right, Ananda?
Yes, sir.
Gee.